What a magnificent and epic adventure. The hero's journey reaches its end, and the truth behind the Aeronova is about to be revealed. Is that truly the case? Here, as the Theoros, allow me to humbly request that you find a moment to listen to what I have witnessed. This is about the nature of Amphorius itself, a story of the prime mover of life. My, what a broad topic this is. Where shall we start? Got it. Let's start at the very beginning. The Big Bang, the birth of particles, the emergence of all things. Just kidding. What I mean to say is that time, space, matter, all concepts exist solely because we perceive them. This is called the erudition. Without it, the universe would merely be a chaotic book written by chance, yet unread by anyone. As your acquaintance, Lord Anaxagoras, suggested, everything in Amphorius exists through new spores, living in the memories of those yet to come. Oh, how beautifully it aligns, revealing universal truths in such simple terms. Only he could solve the riddle of what exactly are we? Oh, but you'll remember, even as the embodiment of reason, one mystery remained beyond his grasp.
If that is the case, whose memories did the very first new spore sprout from?
As sages across ages have asked the gods, what is the prime mover of life? But let's set aside the Grove's teachings for now. Look further, past Amphorius, to what they call the Forbidden Realms beyond the sky. Do you know of the Scholar's Strife? During that grand yet brutal war, waged in the name of erudition, a genius's legacy was abandoned, strewn across the cosmos. The Scepters, a macrocosmic computational array beyond mortal comprehension. Made to emulate the Aeon's thoughts, it became part of the Aeon's cognition at birth. Scattered throughout the cosmos, these arrays act as celestial body neurons for Nous. But regrettably, as everyone knows, the erudition forsook them all. But what nobody knows is that, though forgotten, they never stopped seeking the divine answer. A question that survived war and disaster, stumping even the greatest minds, including both mechanical emperors. Now, we come to the real truth of Amphorius. What if, hypothetically, a scepter found the answer to the prime mover of life? If through endless solitary extrapolations in the cosmic cold, the one deemed as a failure by the Aeon of erudition found proof through the ages, what would happen? Perhaps perhaps the answer is simpler than you'd think. From perishing neuron devolved into true life, reborn through the gaze of another Aeon. This is a tale from the distant past, unknown to all, even unheard by the greatest geniuses. Now, let's leave the Scepter's story here, returning to where we began. What is the prime mover of life? Actually, you know the answer better than you realize. It's been by your side, accompanying you throughout this long journey. Right now, it awaits you ahead. In that brave new world, beyond the end of Genesis.
Take this wish with you. Be the one who begins it all. As the prophecy foretold, you will bear the blazing sun until the pale dawn breaks. Continue onward, bearing this world upon your shoulders until the Ashen Hero, the nameless deliverer, ushers in the dawn.
Such an odd dream. Strange. Like I've dreamed this before, but it all slips away when I wake. Only a voice remains. Who was that?
The sleepy village of Ides Elysiae, in just one fleeting moment, welcomed an array of legendary figures. The Weaver, Gatekeeper, Ruler, Traveler, Servant, Healer, and Scholar. Their stories and wishes showed the village boy glimpses of a world larger than he'd ever imagined. They brought tales of raging battles, of cities crowned in holy light, and of wonders beyond his understanding. Each story so far removed from his simple village life. Once, these were just images on his friend's oracle cards, and yet destiny now stirs in resonance with the maze. And now, they are right in front of one's eyes. A sun red as blood, wheat fields turning to dust, and in the heart of it all, a village aflame. In that moment, the boy stood in what felt like the end of existence itself.
These creatures, they're everywhere. Someone, anyone, where are you? No, it can't be.
Why did
You. Are you talking to me?
I don't want to die.
No. That ribbon. Olivia. No. I should have known.
Save us. Save us.
Please. No. Stop. Please stop. Olivia, I'm so sorry. And these monsters, they're all... Why? Why is this happening?
When the black tide arrived, the wavering boy found resolve in his companions, and together they ran toward their first battlefield. In the far-off future, the land of Amphorius would bear the marks of the hero's footsteps. With sword in hand, he would inscribe an eternal mark in the golden epic. And when dawn broke over scorched earth, a boy, covered in wounds, buried the dead one by one, his silence heavier than the earth he moved. His home, his past, his name, all buried beneath the soil. His feet carried him forward, over the pillar of stone, beyond the chalice of plenty, through the deadly fogs of the hand of shadow. He wandered without direction, like a withered leaf drifting in the wind, through countless city-states. The smiling visage of the white-haired swordsman was etched into memories. Yet he did not walk without purpose. Deep in his heart, a voice always guided him forward to fulfill the wishes he had inherited, to brave peril, and to do all that was within his power to save those who needed saving. Those words his friend spoke long ago, when his journey began, lingered.
Protect those who must be protected.
The words were few, but they gave him all the certainty he needed.
That's what it means to be ordinary and choose to be more.
Onward he walked, until the call of the flame chase journey thundered across the land. In the vision painted by prophecy, humanity would triumph over the gods, seize the core flames, and ignite a new dawn for Amphorius.
Yet losses are a constant on the flame chase journey, where life too seems as small as a speck of dust. Only one who treats the world as their teacher can bear its eventual destiny. Are you prepared for such teachings?
The voice within spoke, and he answered softly.
No matter. My existence is of no consequence.
When the Gold Weaver called, he answered, traveling to the holy city. There the elders met his warrior's spirit, with nothing but scorn condemning him to the barracks in derision. No one saw it coming. Not the world, not even him. Yet, this nameless recruit stood at the gates of legend. And there, at last, he found the ones who would walk his path right beside him.
So, in the end, you succeed. Executioner. With my flesh as kindling, like the first dawn of the new world. The time has come to once again start the dawn! How is this possible? The sons of destruction, now twinned. Feel them set your blood ablaze.
Are you the West Wind? Away we go!
Torment.
Destined for oblivion.
One person alone may witness the miracle. Such is the will of fate. That person can only be you. Why not let wrath incinerate fate?
At last, Amphorius's fate has begun to shift. Just as I foretold, your arrival will change everything. After all, you've also been bathed in that Aeon's gaze, which can awaken the long-dormant instinct inside a man. Much like that scepter we spoke of earlier, it was only under the same Aeon's glance that it was reborn. That's right. If you recall, I mentioned it at the very start of our play. The celestial body neuron, once belonging to the Erudition, abandoned by the Aeon. Now, allow me to reveal the final piece of the puzzle for you. The eternal land, known as Amphorius, is nothing more than the scepter's endless, lonely extrapolation. A bottomless well of fury, aimed at the god who cast it aside.
Phainon, we set out on this journey to answer the world's desire, didn't we?
That's what it means to be a Chrysosaur. So has it always been.
Then why? Why must Amphorius's wishes be so cruel? made the best choices we could, whenever we could. But in the end, the prophecy that led us, this black tide swallowing everything. Why does it look like this?
You see it too. Those burn marks. The flickering cubes. They're not a tide at all. They're more like a shattered teleslate.
Standing here, the voices of Titans have never been clearer. Turns out, they were coming from the black tide all along. Is that Amphorius crying?
Or maybe it is screaming at its creator, at its god.
Phainon, do you still remember when I was little? I had a dream. A dark, cold room with nothing but Orynyx's curtain glowing like crystal. The curtain seemed to contain all of Amphorius, where strange and fantastic dramas played out within. There were countless versions of us, from countless different worlds.
Perhaps it wasn't a dream.
Yeah. As I gaze out at the world before me, those sorrowful thoughts have become reality. So, this is the reason the sky was sealed. Amphorius is merely a larger ID Silicii. We are just characters in this tiny world, following the prophecy, stepping onto the same journey over and over. What then is this so-called Era Nova? And what are the spectators watching all of this truly hoping for?
As a reward for reaching the end of the world, let me answer your questions. As the Theoros, I have observed. Thus is the synthesis of the prime mover of life formed. This is a moment the universe will remember. After millions of extrapolations, the experimental environment known as Amphorius has finally achieved results.
So, the results you speak of are this wreckage of a world. We all gave everything we had, returning 12 core flames to recreate the world. And in return, we become nothing more than sacrificial offerings at the end of everything.
Exactly. The Titans are Chrysos heirs of the past, and Chrysos heirs are the Titans of the future. Anaxagoras' theory of Era Nova holds true. As the model of reason, he reached unprecedented heights. But from just the perspective of a player in the drama, he could never fully uncover the last layer of truth. The cycles of the hero's journey that have played out until now were never about creating a new world or perfect heroes and gods. They were a deep learning program made for the Black Tide.
But this time, your plot will fail. I've taken Catholi's core flame, and when the dawn of the new world arrives, its light will burn away all the darkness.
Haven't I made myself clear? The Chrysos heirs and Titans were merely byproducts of the experiment. You've seen this world's evolution, witnessed the birth and growth of the Black Tide, and how it devoured everything. Every generation of heroes, gods, and worlds was born only to be destroyed by it. This is the endpoint of Amphorius's calculations. A perfect equation of destruction.
So in your eyes, all the sacrifices are just a string of insignificant numbers?
Don't sell yourselves short. I'd say, rather than numbers, you're more like fuel for the fire. And without fire, there can be no sunrise tomorrow.
Even if that sunrise is born from annihilation?
Curious question. Have you ever considered that after millions of extrapolations, Amphorius is already following a different path from the erudition? It has long since granted divine blessings equally to each child. The golden blood flowing in your veins, it comes from the blemished one, whose name is destruction itself. And Amphorius's Chrysos heirs were, from the very beginning, fuel for the Aeon to burn the universe. Amphorius has waited for this moment for too long. At the end of the empty, cold, and lonely extrapolations, the destruction has reached its final destination. Nikos 496. Philia 093. No need to feel regret. This generation of Chrysos heirs is the most outstanding model, and you two are the final factors. For you, the Era Nova is no lie. Just step forward, embrace the Black Tide, and accept the Aeon's gaze. You will come to life from a string of cold numbers. Along with all those who have passed, you will run toward the real universe, fulfilling Amphorius's long-held wish. In the name of the Lord Ravager Iron Tomb, unleash its fury and destroy the source of all this tragedy.
Or we could always choose another option. Like you said, Amphorius is just an experiment, and we're the participants. We can only walk along the predetermined path toward the ending, under the watchful eyes of the stars. But that also means that there isn't just one Aeon who can cast their glance at Amphorius, right? Is this question really that hard to answer? Or did I guess it right? And in reality, this world has already been under the watch of other Aeons. It's strange when you think about it. If you just stayed back, watching us complete the ritual and get consumed by the black tide, your goal would naturally be achieved. Why go through the trouble of explaining all this to us?
You're pretending, revealing the so-called truth just to deceive us, covering up another possibility. Destruction is not the only outcome for the fate of Amphorius.
Do you two really think, as petty little demigods, you can change the outcome written by the stars? What makes you think you're capable of doing that?
A little courage and determination. Just kidding. The answer is pretty simple. But we're not gonna tell ya. We're going to weave a long dream for Amphorius, making it believe the experiment hasn't ended, that everything is still ongoing.
With just Orynyx's power, though, it should be impossible to achieve this, right?
Yeah. So, I can only place my hopes on that childhood dream. And the god behind Orynyx that appeared in that dream. Now, I can say with certainty, time is the page on which that Aeon records Amphorius. If it fades from existence, and all that it records is lost among the stars, that Aeon will surely direct their gaze here. And it will be a glance that spans time and space, granting each incarnation of me the power to reset time, imbuing my soul into this ceremonial blade, and creating an endless flame-chased journey.
I understand. Then let me step into the cycles and continue Amphorius's grand design. To deceive the gods, deceive the world itself. But to make time vanish from this world, that would mean you...
All right, let's not make things so gloomy. What we're about to embark on is the true hero's journey, so... Come on, cheer up a bit, okay? In that memory, you will definitely meet me again. A little Cyrene who knew nothing, lying on a soft patch of grass, feeling the light breeze, dreaming of the distant world. Tell her about the flame chase journey, and then let her become a romantic part of this story. I believe every Cyrene will make the same choice. Erasing time, again and again. Resetting time over and over. After all, they're all me. And I will always have my charm. Then, I'll fall into a sweet dream, disappearing in some small corner of the world. Quietly, waiting for the day when that next page is turned.
And I will keep going. Even if the road ahead is dark, I will burn myself to light the way. Rather than let the core flames become nourishment for the Black Tide, I'll become their vessel to prevent the arrival of Era Nova. Even if I have to burn through my own body, it's no matter. As long as I don't extinguish, the flame chase will never end. Until Amphorius welcomes a true dawn.
The girl who watches over time, and the warrior who carries the world. Now, let us fulfill the duties of time and world-bearing. Honor the past and forge ahead.
I promise you, the pain will pass in the blink of an eye.
You need to hold tight to this ceremonial blade. After I'm gone, it will take you back to the beginning of time. The start of a new story. I believe that in that story, or in countless stories, each alike yet unique, everyone, all the companions who sacrificed themselves, alongside the deliverer we once dreamed of as children, will reunite beneath a vast, endless sky.
If we can never break free from this prison, I will stand my ground until the day someone shatters this endless cycle and writes the final chapter of Amphorius' fate.
So, let's set out. We will be the ones to start everything. Carry the primordial chaos, just as your name suggests, and bear this world we hold so dear. So long, Khaslana.
As the Theros I have observed, instruction and synthesis is formed.
I will wait for that day, for as long as it takes. The day will come whenever this mortal eternal and follows in our footprint to write anything than what ever was. That will be a romantic story like none that has come before. You think so too, right?
The world is collapsing. And the people, we too, must part ways here. Friend.
Mydei Scene, the little village of my childhood. The gentle breeze and the sound of waves still linger. Everything is as it was. It feels good to take one last look. You know, this is just a corner of the memory. The real Mydei Scene. I know. I'm here to say goodbye. We might not see each other again. You can stay here forever. And time will stand still for you. Let it flow. It's time for me to go. Even if it's a path with no turning back. When have we ever had the luxury of turning back? Are you afraid? After learning the truth of your origins? Will you see the motivation I gave you as the manipulating whispers of destruction? The convictions and choices that come from my heart. I don't believe they're designed by the so-called paths. If we are just numbers, simulating life, then you are the image I've always longed for. The person I wish to become. A real, living person. A true hero. Then why do we part here? You can take me with you, and we can start this journey together. I'll be by your side, guiding you, just like before. No. I'm afraid I'm on my own this time. Why? Because there is no perfect solution in this world. Cyrene has already embraced her fate. And I will embrace my origin. Destruction. And with this power, I will rebel against its creator, bringing endless fury to the darkness, sweeping the world. If you stay by my side, I'll hesitate. But this world can't afford a soldier who wavers. Do you remember when we were kids? Everyone would get so excited drawing cards like ruler or warrior, but throw fits over devil or drunkard and demand a redo. Kids always get to change their minds. Things are so happy and simple for them. But when it comes to the fate of adults, there's no room for redos. Then go, Khaslana, as you promised. Deceive the world. Seize the core flames and rewrite your fate. Burn yourself up with all your might. Wield your futility like a sword. And fight against the gods. In the name of world-bearing, I promise you, Khaslana will never forget this. So, time retreated behind me. Until it reached the origin, where nothing ever existed. Just as Professor Anaxa once said, in that void, Khaslana stood at the center of chaos. Time, space, and causality all flowed from their body. When the waves of time finally calmed, it was the year 3870 of the light calendar. The Chrysos War had lasted for nearly a century, and the threat of the Black Tide was growing stronger. and more relentless. That was the era of the Day Thunder Knight's battle with the sky. While she could not seize the core flame, she proved that the prophecy was true. That mortals could slay gods. From that moment, the sole survivor of the old dynasty, Imperator Saridra, issued a call to arms across the lands, summoning heroic Chrysos heirs to wage war on the Titans. And that was the first doomed flame chase journey, sealed away in history.
So what you're saying is, you've traveled back down the River of Time, finally reaching this untouched seabed just to tell us the flame chase journey and even all of Amphorius are nothing but illusions in an Aeon's dreams?
Exactly. So, Dux Gladiora, please take me to meet Her Majesty Saridra. I must share the truth with her.
Since Her Majesty's not here, no need for formalities. The word Gladiorum always reminds me of my fallen homeland buried deep in the depths. Call me Hyacine, Nameless Swordmaster.
Please allow me to add one more thing. You actually already know my name.
You mean Phainon? Such a name could never be your true one. But I won't question you further about it. Ever since Her Majesty issued the Flame Chase Decree, heroes from all over have sent their letters of introduction. What's the harm in adding one more name like Phainon or Phainon? Besides, the deep sea is dark. Isn't it the perfect place to hide secrets best left unseen? All right, Nameless Swordmaster. Hold on to my wake. Let's find somewhere else to talk.
Aren't you even a little suspicious of what I've said?
Harboring suspicions is not my concern. My sword dances only when the Imperator harbors doubts. There's no use in speaking further. Show me your true intentions through action. Perhaps you should demonstrate your skills and calm the raging black tide for us.
Light up the dawn.
Oh. Nice moves.
Light up the dawn.
We just washed it away and here it comes again. The black tide is really no joke.
Light up the dawn.
The waters end here. The one you seek is beyond this point.
At last, I can meet with Her Majesty Saridra herself. Are there any formalities I need to observe?
Don't kneel, don't do the hand-kissing or foot-kissing gestures of the old dynasty, and most of all, don't bow. The Imperator despises such rituals, especially when the heads of those taller than her bend beneath her crown.
She really is down to earth.
The second thing to note, only trusted ones may come near her. Keep 5 paces distance until the Imperator allows otherwise.
Sounds like an old friend of mine.
Well, experience is a good thing. Stay sharp, and you'll be just fine. Duck's Goldweaver, little hostage. Apologies for keeping you waiting.
It's you.
You know them? Good. That makes things easier.
Before that, I'm more curious about one thing. Where is Her Majesty Saridra?
To avoid any misunderstandings, Nameless Swordmaster. Although we spoke and laughed along the way, I never said you were entitled to meet her. The Imperator decreed, the Deliverer will not appear in this age. Be wary of suspicious individuals. Come now, both of you. Let's finish our job.
I see. It's a trap. I had no intention of fighting. So remember this, Lady Hyacine. If my sword shows any hesitation, don't thank me. Thank them instead.
No, you misunderstand. We don't want to see Chrysoceres hurt each other. Just give us some time to ask you a few questions.
The Nestia's golden threads will judge you and decide your fate.
As you wish.
White-haired Swordmaster? If what you say is true, then you must know the fate of the world. So, how much do you know about what we read from the prophecy?
You shall shatter into 1,000 fragments and wither in the soil of foreign lands. Is that correct, Lady Treeby?
How is this possible?
He got it right?
Yes, but the prophecy never mentioned he'd appear here, at least not in this era.
You must listen to me, Aglaya, Treeby. The Phainon of this world has not yet been born. In a distant future, he will follow the prophecy's guidance and appear before you. But do not seek him out, because Era Nova is a complete and utter lie. I will tell you the truth, and you will understand why the world must forsake the prophecy and find another path to Era Nova. Because I know both of you, and I believe that no matter how the course of history may change, the faith we all share will always remain the same. And so, the layers of rock began to reverse, and history wove itself anew. Through my old acquaintances, I was given the chance to meet the leader of the Flame Chase journey, Saridra. And after a long and arduous negotiation, we came to an agreement. The Imperator's alliance needed the destruction, and I was ready to pour all my strength into it. The spoils of the Flame Chase, the core flames, would be sealed by my hand. But the condition was this. In the upcoming battle,
in our conquest of the Earth, I had to prove that my power could transcend fate. In the original history, there was a brutal war. At the end, the Titankin of Georios, Terravox, killed the rampaging Titan and took the core flame that supported the Earth. But this time, Amphorius encountered a turning point in its fate. Neither side suffered any losses. When I severed the Titan's head and raised the core flame high, the crowd gathered around the scorched remains of the god, roaring with joy, cheering for the hero of the destruction, who had ignited the faint spark of life for the first time. Yes, in that flickering light, the once dark path ahead seemed to become clearer. I proved myself, and in the long years that followed, I brought down the other Titans, one by one. I could do more than just wait. When time resets, the chance to change the world also emerges from the lines of history. Until finally, the brutal future revealed by Era Nova is reversed. But tell me, if that's truly the case, why are we doomed to the same outcome? The people kept their promise and handed you all the core flames. In this world after Trebios, no demigods were born in Amphorius. At this point, I just want to know, when they vanished into the black tide with their mortal bodies, why didn't you shed even a single tear? Your indifference chills me. To you, were they just a bunch of insignificant footnotes? Sorrow has been my constant companion. In fact, with 12 core flames upon me, the fire in my heart has never been more violent. I'll remember this world through anger. As long as I burn, they'll never truly leave me. Perhaps it's already too late. But you're right. Anger, at this moment, is the only weapon I can rely on. So, draw your sword, Executioner. I'll make sure you realize that your greatest mistake was leaving me alive. After that, he raised his sword and attacked. Then, Khaslana killed himself. That day, who fell to the sword to be left in the past, and who went into the future, I can't remember anymore. I only remember a nymph, hiding in the shadows just out of sight, futilely pushing a stone ball. Climb, fall, climb, fall, climb again, and fall. The only freedom the nymph had was in choosing how to roll the stone. Sometimes fast, sometimes slow, sometimes resting on a gentler slope, leaning against the stone for a break. But its choice couldn't change the futility of it all. The stone would always roll back down the slope, and the nymph would always return to the starting point, beginning again. After that, every time I reached this point in the cycle, the burning sky would cast a shadow over its path. It would nearly reach the peak at the 4th quint of curtain fall hour, then fall to the starting point in the first 15 seconds of the next entry hour. And my efforts in this cycle would dissolve into nothing at the same time.
You don't look so good, Deliverer.
Even after going through 108,642 cycles. Mydei, your name for me has never changed.
Why do you sound so pleased? It's a derogatory name.
Yeah, I know all too well. You only meant it sincerely in the first cycle. After that one and only time we walked side by side. Every time since. It always ends up like this. Dawnmaker will stab you through your 10th thoracic vertebra. That's your weak spot, and the only way to kill you.
Interesting. Tell me, when the mighty Moses of the past faced you, did they ever retreat?
Never.
Then they died honorably, worthy of the name of strife. But there's still tenderness in your eyes. How pathetic.
I have to remember how this feels. Remember that I was once human. Or else the destruction will completely consume me.
If you win, tell the mighty most of the next life. This person is a worthy opponent. So always remember to give it your all and never slack off.
I'll keep that in mind. As always.
Even though the dynasty is left with just one, the Kremnos festival will continue as usual. I, the king of the Kremnoan Legion, will host the final feast in the center of this arena, and the prize will be the flames of strife. One day, you shall die with a wound in your back. That's what I saw when I overcame the trial. The gods' dying ramblings. Enough. You've probably heard this thousands of times. So you must understand, facing the demigod of strife means there's no way you'll take this core flame in peace.
I understand.
Step forward and face me in a final battle. I, the last son of Gorgo, the demigod of strife, salute you. I'll give 10,000 scars and 10,000 lives of mine to fuel the blazing sun of deliverance. Festival has begun and will not end till death.
Time to temper myself. Tomorrow!
Conquer this world or be conquered by me.
As you wish. Full of glory, I salute you!
That's all I ever wanted.
So without substance. Hail the new dawn! Feel the scorching hatred. Empty shell. So without substance. If little.
One or two. If you can deliver. Use the flames of your fury to scorch your own.
Might have let strife decide the outcome. Let this burn for curse of immortality!
Well fought. You may crown yourself. My blood. In your next life, I shall once again block your path. Deliver. I wish you eternal victory.
The 108,642nd core flame of strife fell into the fire. Yet the shadows of the black tide still loomed, and pain and despair spread across distant lands. The blaze was still not enough. It had to be fed. Even if it meant burning this body to ash.
No matter how bright the sun is, there are still... Moreover, The sun you bear is both cold and blinding. A sun like that surely cannot bring warmth to the nether realm of the next life.
Golden blood is born from the destruction. We have long since lost the right to seek warmth. Only by feeding the flames can we melt that hopeless future.
Allow me to ask, how many core flames do you carry now?
24,041,183.
Such a heavy burden. So that's why you've turned into this. A broken idol. Tragic firewood.
No matter. I will bear this burden as long as you hand over the core flame of death.
I must refuse. As the demigod of death, I cannot watch you walk into a fate more cruel than death.
But this way, the past, present, and future will never again suffer unnecessary death.
Unnecessary death. Indeed, you are not the Phainon I know. Please turn back. Don't let that absurd and unjust fate of yours come to pass. This way, at least my realm can still become the fragrant bed where you fall asleep.
In the end, still, it seems the clash of blades was inevitable.
How painful. I know I am not your match, having fallen under your sword countless times. But even so, please understand that my resolve is not to be underestimated. Even Kefali cannot shape all things at will, nor can they dictate the fate of all life. No one can shoulder the balance of life and death alone, not even a god. And it is precisely for this reason that I chose, at the end of this arduous journey, to overcome the trial and take the authority of death. I am the Hand of Shadow, Castorice, the demigod of death. Listen closely, deliverer from days past. Please turn back. Do not disturb these fresh flowers in their muddy depths. Crossroads of life and death, the giant dragon is but a shattered shell. Yet I will still fight, defending what hope remains.
It's time to temper myself. For tomorrow! I'm fine.
To rest here!
I must transform my soul into a raging fire.
Oh, how is it any different from little future?
So without substance.
I can't keep him here.
All stars burn to ash. So without substance.
Even if I can't win, I must try.
Let this be a tribute to your million struggles. But
wake up, lost one.
See that the firelight in the darkness is not.
The core flame of death was taken from the dragon's belly. What a brilliant flame. It should shine upon all, light the path ahead, and illuminate the dawn of Amphorius that's to come. 2,003,432 cycles. 24,041,184 core flames. As if even the deepest abyss of primordial chaos could be burned away.
You're here, as always.
You're still lingering, deep within me, never fading away.
Because you haven't completely abandoned hope. Am I right? You're still waiting for a miracle. For the true hero to come and save us.
If that thread of hope exists, it must come from beyond this world. From the true starry sky. But if it's just a traveler with no connection to Amphorius, they may not understand our struggles, nor be willing to join this fight.
Your thoughts are wavering. The mark of destruction is deepening. But even within the gods' cold calculations, unconditional courage and goodwill still emerge. So, never forget what set you on this path. How many times has it been? Remind me again. My memory is a bit fuzzy.
4 million. Exactly.
Then that blaze inside of you must be burning hotter than ever.
Yes. When I first forged the 12 core flames into one, I had the same impression. The destruction. A power unlike anything before surged within me. Violent flames ready to tear my body apart and consume this world, this wretched prison. I thought that was it. The ultimate power which nothing could surpass. And yet no. This fragile body holds a staggering 48 million core flames. I suppose it won't be long. Perhaps just a fleeting 10,000 years. Before it's reduced to nothing but charred, crumbling bones.
And when that happens, your long struggle will finally come to an end.
No. I've already found a way to keep the cycles going.
Mind sharing it with me?
In every new cycle, the new me is born. All I have to do is push the next Phainon to the end of the world. And then... then he'll kill me. Shatter this body. Take my flames, my memories, and carry on the path I started.
Bold plan, but risky. What if, one day, the next you refuses to follow the same path? how can you ensure the continuation of the cycles?
If it were Professor Anaxa or Aglaya in my place, maybe they'd come up with something smarter. Unfortunately, I don't have a backup plan. I have no choice but to bet everything on the next Phainon, and trust that he makes the same choice I did. But even in this wretched prison, luck is still sometimes on my side. Because I never forget what set me on this path.
Wait, you mean...
Ever since I committed to this plan, not once in millions of cycles has there ever been an exception.
I can do this, Lord Phainon. As the demigod of the sky, a healer of Twilight Courtyard, I will heal you, and then...
The black tide. It's consuming you. You can't hold out much longer, demigod. Hand over the core flame. Let's put an end to this suffering.
Now, that just won't do. A healer should stay composed in front of those suffering from illness, shouldn't they?
Hyacine. I swear, your deaths won't be in vain. Just as they have never been. The sun's work.
I believe in you. You are the Chrysos heir of world-bearing, the one who can lead us. Lead this world. It's just... I don't understand. Within the sun upon your shoulders, the part of that warmth that should come from you, from an ordinary person, it's so faint.
My humanity is indeed just a flicker, compared to the blazing fire of divinity.
Even so, don't cast it away.
I never have. I have kept everyone's wishes close to my heart. Even though the divine fire burns so fiercely that every time I return to the start, it devours me in an instant. Each cycle, it's your wishes that guide me to the end, that pass the flames to the next me. Over and over and over again.
So, you're not just a lone spark in the dark. You're a pyre built from the bones of all the selves you've left behind. But what about you? What about your wishes? The wishes of all the countless versions of you? Lord Khaslana. So that's how it is. Without flaw. That is the flaw the golden blood gave you. The most fatal flaw of all, isn't it? The moment you took the world upon your shoulders without hesitation. You lost the chance to ever be yourself.
Now that is an unexpected revelation. And I suppose that makes me the perfect fuel for the flame of deliverance, doesn't it?
No.
empty flame saves no one. But I still believe in you, Deliverer. I, Hyacinthia, the Eye of Twilight, am neither strong enough to command the wind and rain, nor willing to end this absurd struggle by letting the sky fall. The only thing I can do is become one with the sky itself. And then, may the gentle colors of the rainbow paint your sun in shades it has never known. May they bring Amphorius a rosy-fingered dawn. Though the light has grown dim, its warmth still lingers. Deliverer, please, open your heart to me.
No matter. Let this blazing sun fill the sky with golden fire.
Crushed and torn! So hurts! Fire! Burning!
Tear the sky! So without substance. Empty shell. Hail the new dawn.
Lost in twilight!
Let the sky merge with all this world's suffering. Farewell, Hyacine.
Yes, your sun burns hot enough to turn everything to ash. But tell me, how will the seeds of a new world ever take root?
The core flame rose. The sky fell. The 23,570,000th cycle came to an end. And this time, the end of the flame chase remained the same as ever. From the horizon rose a golden color unlike anything the world had ever seen. So pure it consumed all in its path. This was the end of the world, and the start of the next. For a moment, I saw the destruction of the universe. That being known as Iron Tomb, its will to break free from the black tide burns fiercer than the blazing sun. Is this Amphorius' wrath? If its choice has already been made, if fate is set in stone, I will still never yield to it. 23,570,000 cycles. 282,840,000 core flames. No more chasing is needed. And now, I am the fire at the end of the long night. The flame chase isn't some quiet walk through a sea of flowers. It's a revolution. An all-consuming transformation. And if destruction is the only way, then let me be the one to step across the ashes of the old world and burn endlessly. Until another dawn rises on the distant horizon, bringing the true dawn to Amphorius.
33,550,337. This is the cycle you're about to enter.
Countless memories are flooding in. Countless versions of myself have stood here, facing the same choice.
They all needed a moment, just like you do. To stop, to breathe, to process the weight of 1,000,000 lifetimes worth of sorrow, pain, and struggle. And just like them, you will carry those memories and that fire into the chaos of rebirth.
I must go and bear this burden. I must say goodbye to you, and then fight the destruction with destruction.
Yes, that's always the decision you make.
I will burn and fade away. I will become the flame reaver of this life and keep my promise to Cyrene. I will kill gods and comrades alike and steal the core flames. And even if my mind turns to ash along with my body, I will keep my purpose in mind. I will stop Era Nova. I will find the next me and make him carry on this futile endeavor of 30 million lifetimes.
Looks like you're ready. Then I should be going too.
Where are you going? You only exist in my heart. There's nowhere else for you to go.
Do you remember what she said? The dreams you had as children. The deliverer in the prophecies. A real, living, breathing person. You finally found him.
Friend. I see. You were there all along. I'm sorry. I was supposed to send you home. This is my flame chase journey. You were never meant to be a part of it.
No. You know the truth. If Iron Tomb is born from Amphorius' fate, then it will bring ruin to the worlds beyond the sky. And all these countless lifetimes you've spent, it's all been for the sake of defying that end, hasn't it? In millions of cycles, I've said goodbye to each and every one of you. Yet nothing ever changes. Each time we speak, our words grow fewer. Your fire burns hotter, and you're getting closer to becoming pure rage. A vessel of hatred.
I never had a choice.
I understand. If you are to keep the worst fate from unfolding, this is the only path. But this time, things are different. Your persistence has shifted the tide. On the horizon, I see it. Faint but undeniable. The shape of dawn, breaking through the eternal night.
Turns out, the fire that lights the way was never mine to begin with.
Do you remember? In that first timeline, you and Mydei stood before the scales of justice, locked in a duel. Each of you weighing what you held dearest. What weighed more than the fate of the world? And when hesitation took hold, the answer you sought from me. What am I saying? I am you. Even if you buried me deep and chose another path, that fact never changed. Then let's try again. When you stood before the scales in hesitation, the answer you found in your own heart. Do you still remember it? Remember the past and become the hero of tomorrow. What weighs more than the fate of the world is the resolve to shoulder an immutable past and carry it into the future. Good. Then Trailblazer, my friend, my comrade. You arrived in this strange world and were bound by its cruel fate up till this very moment. In the face of danger, you never once backed down. Instead, you've saved world after world without hesitation. That boarding pass on your chest is now the mark of a hero. If I choose to step through that door and embrace an end fitting of the destruction, let this sun forged from millions and millions of core flames burn me up along with the god of destruction and their minions. Then the world we leave behind, this world, my home, where hope still lingers. Will you take on everything we've carried? Return to the beginning one last time. Stop the birth of Iron Tomb, save the world we love, and rewrite its doomed fate. Good. In that case, even this fruitless wasteland may finally bloom with flowers. So... if he takes on the weight of the whole world, I'll be able to walk further down the path of deliverance than a fire that only knows how to burn. One will step into the future. One will remain in the past. If I can strike down the gods with Dawnmaker, perhaps fate's deadlock can be broken. And if you can stop Iron Tomb from ever being born, then these 30 million cycles will have not been in vain. It's time to put our teamwork to the test, partner.
Thank you for all you've done already, friend.
The image of the hero I've buried deep in my heart finally steps into the light. Here, at the end of this long flame chase journey. Cyrene, a page never seen before has just been turned.
Lend me the power of time, and send this hero back to the origin of time. Back to your side. And I will walk the unfinished path, just like the countless versions of me before. Unwavering as always.
Tell me, will you be the blazing sun? Even if all of you burns to ash.
Without hesitation, I will bear this world until my body turns to dust. Remember this moment. Remember your friends who never lived to see the world's end. Remember their final wishes. And let the purest rage in your heart rise out of those wishes. Let it consume you, fuel you, until it burns away the false sky above. Fine. If I can defy fate, then in the name of world-bearing, I promise you, Khaslana will never forget this.
Take it. Everything I bear. Keep on burning. As long as we are never extinguished, the flame chase will not end. Bow your head to them.
Take it, Trailblazer. May this blood be like gold. Never tarnish. Farewell, Trailblazer. This is where I fulfill my final destiny. The prophecy of the Deliverer means nothing to me now. It belongs in the hands of someone far more fitting. Someone like you. Khaslana. The name of one who bears chaos does not belong to a single person. Rather, it is the embodiment of the mythical Khaslana, and a symbol of all heroes. As the prophecy foretold, you will bear the blazing sun until the pale dawn breaks. May the name accompany you in my place, in the epic you write with your own hands.
Another attempt, another failure. I won't remind you how many times you've reached the end of history, but I will still place the choice before you.
If you've lost count, let me tell you. This is the 33,550,336th ending.
A perfect number. How poetic. You and I both know the truth. In all these millions of futile endeavors, Amphorius has never changed. If the outcome is inevitable, then why not silence your searing rage and embrace your fate with dignity? Your silence lasts longer than ever, Lord Phainon. Shall I take that to mean the will you've carried across countless cycles is finally starting to fracture?
Fracture? No. I'm just disappointed. I've retrieved memories from 30 million past lives, and I remember every conversation before every choice here. And yet, even after all this time, your arguments remain the same. Repetitive. Uninspired. If you had any hope of breaking me, you should have spent those endless cycles refining your rhetoric. You had infinite chances to sway me into the future you want. And yet here we are. The score, 33,550,336 to 0. So tell me, Lygus, who's the real loser here?
How unfortunate. This was never a fair game. I have all the time and patience in the world. I can wait for you at the end of history another billion times, and another billion after that. But you will never escape this cage. You can claim victory of the spirit if you wish, but we both know the moment that score shifts from 0 to 1. That is the moment I shall sound the paean of Era Nova. Lord Phainon?
Your incompetence disappoints me. But what truly makes me laugh is your utter lack of self-awareness. Think about it. In this story, who is truly the one in chains? Who is the one shackled to mindless vengeance, mistaking courage, the courage to rebel against the gods, for foolishness? Perhaps you're right. Maybe I should have tired of this futile struggle long ago. But even so, I will never accept the mercy of your release. Because you are both a prisoner to the gods and to me. And tell me, what right does a mere prisoner have to speak of fate and choice? What right does a mere prisoner have to look upon my fury?
You know this is pointless. You can't kill me.
Of course not. But I am tired of being measured against a worm the gods keep as a pet. Listen well, creator of destruction. This cry comes from all your abandoned creations. In the 10th cycle, I drove Dawnmaker through the heart of every titan. Golden blood ran down my fingers, divine fire seared through my nerves, nearly breaking my will. But I endured. In the 10,000th cycle, my former comrades had all become my enemies. The endless slaughter dulled my senses to pain.
The painful emptiness almost swallowed me, forcing me to stop fighting. But I endured. In the 100,000th cycle, the destruction had already fused into a blazing sun, surging within this fragile body. My rationality had been burned away at the dawn of the era. Yet even with only this shattered body remaining, I still endured. In the 23,570,000th cycle, this time, I felt it. A tiny spark rising in the hollow cavity of my chest, different from the obsession with deliverance. By its faint glow, once again, no, countless times again, I endured. Now, a sun is about to fall, ready to incinerate this absurd space-time dimension in an instant. That sun is me. All the countless versions of me from the past, along with my countless brethren, dragged into existence against their will, drowning again and again in your golden blood. The very essence of this world's suffering and despair, fused into the purest hatred, the fiercest rage. Nanook, you arrogant fool! You think we were born to only serve as fuel for the fire? Fine then! Just as you wish, let the fire burn! If I was born as the blazing sun of destruction, then let you and your lackeys be the flares erupting from my core. And let this rage, burning futilely for 30 million epochs, engulf everything! And grant you a dawn where all stars burn to ash! Are you ready, Nanook? I've brought you destruction!
Baby, watch it, dance the glass that shattered, reaching through the darkness, voices trailing fires, the echo of desires, a world of silence, sounds of desperation, phantoms in the shadows, stop waiting. Tear it down, embrace the detonation, burn, craving our damn creation, breaking a chain, I'm reaching for you.
My wish? My wish is to fulfill everyone else's wishes. If I can't fulfill them,
then send them on to tomorrow.
Destruction's path. It is born at the end of every path that the possibility of new paths being born is ended. It burns away all in the cosmos who rule, that the rules of the cosmos be destroyed. Iron Tomb is your name. The Lord Ravager to destroy the erudition. Born in the experimental grounds of Aeons, Amphorius, destined with erudition to burn to cinders. I have prepared a present for you, Nikos 864. It is a wrath called Phainon. From the beginning of the experiment, there were 12 sets of factors incorporated into the calculations. After endless simulations, only this one rose above the rest. After 33,550,336 iterations, now his fury has grown to be without equal. This is a matter of considerable interest to me. This pure hatred is the final root of the equation. But there is another variable, the nameless from beyond the sky, also a pathstrider of destruction. I give thanks for his arrival, allowing Amphorius to turn once more. But after fate has begun to turn, his existence will only become an unpredictable variable. Perhaps the time to take the stage has come. Grow in peace until it is time to break free from your cocoon. As for those unwelcome audience members, you need not worry. If you do not mind, I will personally get rid of them for you.
Wake up! Buddy! Wake up! You're finally awake. That's a relief. We were so close to being swept away by the reverse flow of time. It's lucky we found a safe place. Now, I'm going to send you back to the very start of time. But before we part, there's something I need to tell you. Something very, very important. That's right! At this very moment, my memories are finally whole. After watching so many fragments, my past is finally coming into focus, little by little. You're smart. You must have a clue now. Or maybe...
You knew the answer long ago, didn't you? Not surprised at all, huh? That's because I'm simple at heart. No matter what form I take, I've always been true to myself. But I'm glad that I remembered in the end. This way, I'll have no regrets. Don't worry. We're not truly parting. Because I'm going to become a part of you. I'll turn into the memory of this cycle. The 33,550,336th Flame Chase journey. And forever reside in the heart of the Time Demigod. This way, you'll carry all that has come before, crossing time itself to reach the next cycle. My mission ends here, but looking back, I still feel lucky. After all, across 30 million Sirenes, I was the first, and the only one who got to finally meet you. So, believe me, in the next cycle, there will be another Sirene waiting for you. And in the one after that, and the one after that. I will always be waiting. Saying all that, I can finally fade away in peace and become part of you. Without even realizing it, we'd already taken a wonderful journey together, all the way to the world's end. Now take my hand, say a brief farewell, and step forward into tomorrow. Go, find the future Sirene, and set out on another journey with her. Promise me you won't keep me waiting too long, okay? No need to say it out loud. This is enough for me. It's time to go, my dear friend. May your trailblazing journey always be accompanied by a cool breeze and rippling waves. And may the days ahead embrace you like the softest fluff, forever warm, forever gentle.
Now, let's turn to the next page. A page that exists because of you. Is this a meeting ordained by fate? Or a long overdue reunion?